What is up, everybody? Welcome to Friday Night D&D. I am the host, JSO / the wizard / the DMGM. Who else is joining me this fine Friday evening?
Hey everybody, it's Luke coming to you on hotel Wi-Fi, and I will be playing Domo, who will be speaking mostly in the third person today.
It's a witness protection program.
What's up?
Yeah.
She's a hobgoblin warlord. Next.
What's up? My name is Kevin, and I'm playing MUSA. Normal little human girl. Well, not so little right now. I'm kind of tall. At least the hot dog fingers are gone.
That's true.
What's up, everybody? I'm Slim, and I'll be playing Flash, a temporarily beaten and toothless kobold lore bard. Ouch.
Sorry, bro.
I want to play it, Harper. You could call me Larger Rogue. I am, oh Jesus, I was just thinking about my racing class for the first time. Eidolon Fighter Echo Knight of the Rockstar variety, rocking the stars, looking for that new sound that will rock the stars.
Hey guys, I'm Amanda. I play Six, the Haragon Barbarian.
Everybody, I am Nick, and I play VYSE. I'm a martial artist and an actor, and finally got my own shirt. Yeah.
Hey, look at that nice shirt you got. I wonder if there's maybe a place you could go to grab a shirt like that somewhere else. Well, I mean, go to that link. Tisa makes some wonderful crochet stuff, but also go to the God Mode shop and grab you some stuff over there. But yes, thank you everybody, and thank you all of you who are already here in the chat. Thank you, Tiberius. Thank you for all those rolls. It looks like I think that fills out everybody in the group. Go ahead and add a +1 to any of your rolls of on whatever massive stack of +1s you may already have, as well as what's up, Discordian. Happy to have you here, and whomever else. And shout out to Mad Mats for the follow recently. Thank you so much. That puts us closer to that 420 mark. I want to hit 420 followers. We can do it. I know we can. Wow. We can do it. We're going to climb up there. All I got to do is just keep doing the content, right? The content. Let's do it. So thank you all for hanging out with us tonight for some fun D&D times. This is session 11 of our fun, chaotically weird D&D campaign, PERPLEXELLEL. And to kick things off, as I always do, a huge thank you to both Peachy Yuri and Iruichi for the campaign art for not only the characters that you see around here, but also some of the NPCs. They do fantastic work. Make sure to go follow their socials. They may be doing commissions too if you're looking to get some stuff done yourself. They do a fantastic job. I can't recommend either of them enough, so go give them some love. Thank you, both of you. On the channel here, we use Twitch channel points. So as you can see, it looks like, hey, what's up, Wonderbread? It looks like, oh, I have a mad dog in the background. Looks like we already have Tiber buying some stuff for the folks here, but also keep in mind as you're watching, even if you're just lurking, you're putting up your Twitch channel points, you can see how many you have and what you can use them on in terms of the rewards. In the bottom left of the chat, you'll see that purple weird bit icon. You can also keep your eyes peeled because sometimes you'll see like a little chest that'll pop down there for people who are sort of like actively listening. If you click that, you'll get a little bonus. Followers and subscribers get even more, so keep that in mind as well. Wonderbread says, I just finished D&D for the night, so hopping in for more D&D. Well, thank you. I hope your session went well, Wondra. Did you have a lot of fun? But yeah, so lots of cool stuff and ways you can interact with our campaign using Twitch channel points. We also use, as you see, stream stickers. If you mouse over the stream, over on the right-hand side, you'll see a purple heart. It's over this way. And you can use that to slap all kinds of fun stickers on the screen, like the Stay Hydrated one. Thank you. So make sure and check that out as well. It's a fun way to slap stuff down. I have a whole bunch of free stickers that you can use. You don't have to donate biddies if you don't want to, but it's a great way to support the stream if you want, and a good way for you to just don't just give me stuff. I always want you to use any of your support in terms of monetary stuff to actually get something out of it, whether that's stickers or fun merch like the Do You Even Lift Bro VYSE shirt that Nick is rocking, which is awesome. All kinds of cool stuff, so check that out. We kind of use a D&D Beyond plugin that's got a small portion of the characters on there. I don't know why it doesn't have all of them. It's broken, at least for our one stream here on Twitch. Everyone else doesn't seem to have an issue with it. I've scoured Twitch, and I'm like, why the fuck is it working for you? What are you doing? What have you paid D&D Beyond? But if you mouse over, you'll also see some of the characters that are part of our campaign. You can get a closer look at some of their more in-depth character sheets by taking a look at that as well. Hey, also tonight I'm doing a digital gift card giveaway to either Steam or the DMs Guild. So whether you like to get some cool, actually good D&D and TTRPG content over on the DMs Guild, or if you just want a little extra for a Steam game, keep your eyes peeled and stay active in the chat tonight, because at some point I may be giving that out to a random winner. So keep your eyes peeled, and or I guess your ears peeled rather, but hopefully you're watching as well, and I'll be giving that at some point in the in tonight's session. I think that is really it for most of my beginning spiel. It actually looks like most people here ran out of... It looks like everyone except MUSA and Tali need an inspiration cards. Go ahead and grab those inspiration cards. This is your opportunity now to pass them on to someone else if you get one that you don't think is particularly worthwhile for your character. Otherwise, forever hold your peace. And while the characters do that, I'm going to go ahead and play our intro, and then we'll roll some die to see who wants to give the recap, and then we'll dive into some D&D tonight. So thank you all, and hang on just a second. I'm going to play the intro, and we'll be right back.
That's what they call the luck of the draw, baby.
Yeah,
Roll
for
20
real.
getting back at me.
So yes, perfect opportunity for anybody who wants to go ahead and dole those out to anybody. Otherwise, is everybody happy with the cards that each of you have?
Yes.
Mike got an inspiration from Tiberius.
Oh, thank you so much, Tiberius, and thank you for the subscription, Wondra Bread. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you liked the intro. I try to put a lot of effort into all, especially our Friday nights. Most of the other Twitch stream Monday through Wednesday and stuff like that, I just coast. You know, I just do bare minimum effort. But Friday nights is where I put in all the effort. So hopefully you enjoy that. Let's see. Luke's thinks
I just, you know, whatever. I just shit out whatever.
That's a joke. I work.
It was funny.
It's too much. Oh God, more sleep, please. Where's that sleep at? Let's see. Yeah, could all probably use a little some of that. It looks like everyone's little reactive Discord images is actually popping up. I can't fucking believe it. Holy cow!
Whoa!
It's beautiful.
jinx it.
Beautiful to see. So why don't we go ahead and roll some die to see who wants to give the recap from last week? Oh, I'm sorry. You guys already look like you did, right?
Oh no.
VYSE, would you whisper for me?
Did I space out, Moz? Did you do your character intro?
Oh, did I skip you, Moz?
Wow, yeah, we skipped a bunch of people, didn't we?
Oh my gosh.
Like I mentioned the shirt and you just...
Oh, Moz, I'm so sorry. My bad. I get spaced out. That is that. Yes, I am just like you,
every
Moz.
person drop a ooh shiny.
Hey, that is, yes, please drop the Ushinies in the chat. That is no disrespect to Moz or anybody else. I just have a really bad memory. So yes, Moz, who are you playing in our campaign?
Tali, I am a Kalashtar Druid.
I'm so sorry, Moz. Look at all these shinies.
Shiny.
I deserve
Yeah.
this. Admonish him. Shame. Shame. So sorry.
You're so good and fluid with announcements, so I wasn't gonna step on you and say
I get into my rhythm, and we're a million sessions into this one, and I still forget that after you, Moz goes. So that's my bad.
doing a deep reveal.
I'm trying to stay on track. I have the memory of a goldfish, so it's bound to happen. So with that, let's see here. Flash. Wait, Flash, did you give it last week?
He rolled though.
I gave it last week.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
gave the week before that.
Well then, fortunately or unfortunately, Flash / Gnasher / Slim. What happened last time on PERPLEXELLEL?
Good evening, WTXT listeners. It's time for another flashback. That's right. Today's sponsor is Walmart. This can't be real. For all your fish and fine drywall I'm done with these. Let's just get into me getting my ass beat last week. Well, I tried sleep, I tried slow, I tried everything else that would make me go, hey, that rhymes. And I couldn't get up onto the glyph, the sigil, the platform, whatever. And the green team, whatever, not Team Warcry, managed to get up there first after I took an elbow drop, a kidney punch, a kick to the business, but not as good as my good friend Six. I'm sorry, VYSE. I know you might still be feeling it, but the other team was lucky enough to get their merit badge or whatever. A brown scorpion, I think, snake, something like that. So round 2 goes to them. Hopefully this crazy camp counselor lets us the hell out of here so I can go back to the other crazy camp counselor from Neogokyo. This place sucks. Back to you, sponsors.
Very good. I love it. That was a fantastic recap. Yes, as you will see, color-coded to make things easier for everyone who is watching. We have Team Hootdini up at the top. That consists of Tali, MUSA, Harper, and VYSE. And below them is Team Warcry with Six, Domo, and Flash, trying to do their best to beat the other in the respective camp trials to attain their merit badges to hopefully have some team with a winner's total. Although now we are done with 2 out of the 4 challenges. Both teams are equal, so that either means one team is going to win by a large amount, or the teams will be tied. So I'm not sure how things are going to pan out. However, yes, last time the teams were able to both get themselves a badge and even things up with Team Hootdini winning and making it so that each team has 2. And from there, Camp Counselor Candee had directed them all back into the forest to take them back to camp so they could have a little R&R time for a couple hours. Afterwards, they would resume their camp trial festivities. So, what's up, Mousy? Thank you for stopping by. Let's see. So yes, as each of you were following Candee, you found yourselves back at the woodland campsite. After probably what was half an hour or so trek through the jungle.
Domo's whistling a jaunty tune.
Once you guys each reach the main sort of open middle area of the camp care area, Candee turns to each of you and says, well, that was a fantastic and fun trial. I hope each of you had a great time. Now, just like before, I'm going to take me a little break to go do some of my own camp counselor private affairs. And in the meantime, I'm going to be cooking y'all a delicious amount of food so that y'all can take a little rest, relaxation, and in a couple hours, I'll be serving you up something nice. And we'll carry on with the rest of the trials. How's that sound?
Edgy. Yeah, dude.
Right.
Can you kind of puree mine?
I'll do what I can, of course, Flash, she says with a smile.
Candee.
Yes?
I'm exhausted. Tell me you can help me out. I'm so tired. 8 hours won't do it. I'll need at least 80.
Well, unfortunately, we are on a little bit of a time schedule here, so 8 is all I can muster for the time being.
Oh, surely you can help us out. You made those damn bombs.
Oh, well, maybe I did, she says with a smile.
Oh, you didn't? Who did?
Oh, well, it's not important. Look, I think 8 hours will be fine. Get yourselves some sleep, rest. You may not be back to 100%, but who really is? We could all use a little extra sleep in the morning sometimes, huh? In the meantime, I'll be back soon. Y'all get some rest. And at the very least, I can get you some delicious food that'll sate that appetite.
Candee.
Yes?
Is it the same thing that makes those lights in the sky?
What's that?
Insight check.
Insight check. What are you checking here?
Whatever she answers me. So the whole question is, was it the thing that's the lights in the sky? Is that the same thing that made the bombs? And then whatever she says, I insight checking her.
So to be clear from a visual perspective of what you all saw, the lights were coming from in the forest, like not above the canopy, actually inside the canopy, like not too far from ground level.
Yeah.
She turns and says, "No, I don't imagine so." And
Okay.
from your insight check, you have no idea, unfortunately.
Yeah, that sounds okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Lights, bombs, they're not the same thing.
So,
Yeah, Count.
she looks over your way, Domo. Yes?
I was just gonna say, count yourself lucky you were getting 8 hours of sleep. We only got 4 in boot camp.
Exactly. I would say this is a very generous R&R time.
And the sooner we get to sleep, the sooner we can wake up and do the next game.
That's the kind of attitude I hope you all cherish.
All kind of fun.
Six is still drinking out of her tankard of plenty. She's over this.
Can you feel it, everyone? We're becoming a more cohesive team, isn't it?
We're like a big family.
She starts chugging it.
Yeah, we're becoming a more cohesive team. I can feel it.
Candee begins to whistle to herself and steps back into the main cabin and closes the door behind her.
Roger opens his arms wide. Come in, bring it in, family.
Musa goes in.
Oh, come on.
Hugs, yeah.
I was looking for more of the other team to come in so I could whisper them a message.
You can tell me from here.
He says, hugging Musa and VYSE in either arm. Okay, look, we need to figure out this game thing, this next one. We have to tie up because I don't trust that we're going to have the option to make it even Stevens on the last game, especially given your penchant of rage. He points at U6.
I think it's every man for himself.
That's right. 6 is right.
And she winks like very obviously at Lodger.
It's every man for himself.
I get it. It is every man for himself.
What are we winking about?
The dust in my eye from this family. Oh!
Family!
If you wink twice, does it count as blinking?
That's for scholars to decide, son.
Domo is confused and says that she's gonna go off for a moment.
Musa looks at VYSE, is like, it's the same as one hand clapping.
Oh, I can do that, yeah. He starts waving at everybody.
Okay, well, I'm sleepy. I'm gonna go to bed now. Don't wake me up. I want to go back to the lodge that I hid my axe in. I don't remember which one that was, but Lodger would. I think it was this one.
Did you hid your axe in?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure that it's all still there.
It is still there.
Okay.
As you
I'm
step
gonna sleep.
inside.
I'm gonna sleep so good.
All right. Domo, where were you trekking off to?
Domo just kind of wants to scout around the perimeter of this place because, I mean, from what Candee was talking about and what from the other group was talking about when they finally got here, it sounds like there's some weird stuff out in the woods, and she wants to see if she can see what's going on without getting too far outside the safety of the camp.
Sure. You go to begin to maybe just sort of hang somewhat close to the other shack. There's no wall, there's no wood fortified wall here or anything that delineates the edges of the camp, but you sort of stay within an eye's limit of between the jungle trees and stuff of the other shacks of the camp, and just sort of begin to pace around and see if you can spot anything out of the ordinary. Is anybody else doing anything while Domo's doing this?
I don't think so.
Taking a rest.
Sure.
Yeah, you get those spell slots back.
Don't go
Everyone.
to sleep now. You guys are gonna miss dinner.
Six is gonna go to this hut. I don't remember what was in this hut.
That was the hut that I believe had skulls in it.
Yeah, Domo forgot why she got those skulls out.
Yeah, Six is gonna go in there and sleep with the skulls.
It doesn't look too different than the others, other than maybe just the layout of the little cots inside.
Okay.
Tali, VYSE, you guys resting as well?
Yes, please. Do we have assigned bunks or?
No. You don't see any names displayed anywhere or plaques or anything like that. Each of you go to rest. Tali, as you go to rest, shifting out from under your equipment is Hootdini, who kind of perks up and looks your way and says, "Hoot hoot," and peers out a nearby window, looking into the brush, and begins to lift out and unfurl its silver wings and begins to fly up and out of the shack.
Is this right when I went to sleep?
It's before. Well, I'll say actually, make a perception check. Okay, I'll say you were just about to drift off to sleep, but you're able to feel and hear this happen. So if you wanted to wake up and follow, you could.
Okay. Where are you going, buddy?
It sort of stops on the open door frame and turns back to you and looks out again and begins to continue to flitter out. Hoot hoot.
Coming with you.
You step outside. You watch as Hootdini begins to take you outside of the basic area of the camp here and actually flies you as you kind of push through some of the brush and foliage of the bushes nearby. Actually takes you, we'll say you guys are a little further out than this, but basically takes you over where Domo, you are sort of poking through the forest and stuff like that. Domo, give me a perception check as you were kind of looking, peering around to see if you could notice anything out of place or anything like that.
Okay. 11.
With an 11, you're not able to spot anything that really stands out to you. However, as you're sort of just kind of moving along, kicking a couple stones, pushing through the brush, you hear the sound of Hootdini and Tali coming up. Hootdini flies in between the two of you as Tali kind of catches up with you, and it slowly lowers down to the ground and looks up at you, Tali, and then over at you, Domo, and then begins to peck down at the ground. And as both of you take a look, you now see very hidden in the overgrowth of this bluish green grass and foliage is what looks like a very old path that would have been very difficult to spot. And Hootdini continues to peck and then does that thing where like it hops ahead 2 or 3 feet and then turns its head 180 degrees and says hoot hoot and turns it back and then opens a wing to point out in the direction that it looks like this old dirt path may go, and just sort of stops there looking at the two of you.
All right. Clearly there's something going on here. Listen, I got this here horn. I can blow it and only you'll hear it. So I can play lookout if you want to follow Hootdini out in the woods, you know?
That sounds amazing. I was going to start talking to you quietly through your head, but that's wonderful after I go far enough.
Yeah, Domo has this horn of silent alarm. It was the common item I started with.
Oh, nice. What's that do?
Domo's good. It's a horn, you know, like a brrr, you know, kind of like war horn,
like a blowhorn type
and,
thing. Yeah.
And it has 4 charges, and a creature within only one creature of my choice within 600 feet can hear it. So I'm gonna choose Tali, and if I see any movement coming from the cabin, like Candee's about to come outside, I'm gonna blow the horn.
Okay.
So she could rush back without getting into trouble.
Okay, so you're holding on to it to warn her if anything happens.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. All right, Tali, what are you doing?
I'm following Hootdini.
Okay. Hootdini doesn't go any further until you begin to catch up with Hootdini. If as you step up to Hootdini, it begins to turn its head back and taps just does a full on 90 degree one of those birds that it's like those birds that dip their heads in the water, those old things, and kind of taps at the ground and then begins to continue to hop along and begins to lead you into the brush by yourself. Hang on just a second here. So let's do this. You continue along, and let's move. I'm going to change screens here. And we'll just do you and Hootdini since you're going along all by your lonesome, which is the DM's favorite.
It's fine. This is fine.
It's not. No, you never do that in a horror movie. You don't split up.
Maybe you're the final girl.
Oh, maybe we're all dead by staying back in camp.
Yeah.
Although you'll be right back.
You begin to trek along, sort of following the path. Hootdini doesn't fly. Hootdini actually stays close to the ground and just kind of hops along. And as Hootdini taps, you still are able to see very tiny patches of what used to be what looked like probably a well-trekked a pathway where enough people passed on it on foot to sort of like build this path. But it seems like it hasn't been used in a while, and it's kind of overgrown with this brushy grass that makes it difficult to see. You begin to head along with Hootdini, kind of pushing past the brush. As you go in, Domo, you eventually lose eyesight, and Tali vice versa of each other as you press into the outskirts of the camp and press on. It only takes you, Tali, probably following along with Hootdini, about another 2 or so minutes, kind of just moving at a just decent walking pace, following along Hootdini, to find yourself in a somewhat small clearing in a sort of circular fashion, of where the trees and brush kind of give way a little bit so that it's not just like you in the midst of a thick jungle. And you can see up ahead in the clearing where this very visible or barely visible dirt path leads. It leads up to what looks like broken down shack where the trail eventually cuts off at. You can see up ahead the shack is probably like 30 or so feet out from you, from the sort of like tree line clearing that you're at. You can see that the shack looks like it's seen a lot of wear and tear. The wood planks on it are like moldy, and many are kind of chipped and broken in certain areas. There's a door at the front, which it looks like you're kind of facing the front, and 2 windows on the sides, but they're all boarded up with what looks like just pieces of plywood. You can see cobwebs that kind of litter the spaces of the dark corners of the shack. In the front, there's a shovel that lays against the side of the shack, and the tip is slightly buried in the dirt. There's also a couple nails that you can kind of see sticking up from the dirt nearby. What would you like to do?
As Tali gets closer, she wants to see what these nails are and if it's not a trap or anything, so...
Sure. You take a step forward, kind of heading over to the right side where you see this shovel just kind of laying up against the wood side of the wall. And yeah, you can see a couple just what look like loose nails kind of just sitting in the grass. And now you can see that maybe these are leftovers from maybe being put into the plywood that's boarded up the windows and door here at the front.
Yeah.
Just looks like regular older nails. Some have a little bit of rust collected to them.
If it's boarded up, is there any space between them, or is it just completely...
There's like tiny cracks, like not enough to, like maybe enough to maybe stick a finger or two through, or maybe try and like peer into, but not enough to really like have anything get inside more than that. Also, give me a perception check since you're close enough.
Gotcha.
With a 17, now that you're close enough and kind of peering at the boards, Tali, you see that the actual wood pieces of the board look newer. Like they look much fresher than the actual sort of dilapidated nature of the shack itself. That is what you see. It's quiet otherwise. You only hear the sound of the rustle of wind piercing through the nearby leaves.
Tali's just thinking if she turned into a tiny creature, she could fit. But it doesn't. See, only a finger or so, right?
Yeah, you'd have to probably... I guess there's probably not like a creature size smaller than that. If you could become like a cockroach or something, you could fit through. But otherwise, it'd be pretty difficult.
I think there's a tiny spider here.
Yeah, I was gonna say if there's something on there you could make work, I'd be willing to. You can try anything. Yeah.
It's classic.
Well, there is a spider, but it is tiny size.
I mean,
there's tiny stuff here.
What's the HP of the spider? Like 1?
Pretty low. Yeah.
Yeah. See, let me load this up. AC 12.
It's pretty good for a tiny little guy.
Yeah, I did not expect that.
Just a little guy.
Let's
Just a
see.
little tiny beast.
1 hit point. I would say that with a good acrobatics check, I would say you could probably wiggle your way in between the two pieces if you were to turn into a spider. Just kind of looking at it and eyeing it before you cast the spell.
Okay.
Pretty okay. Dex save.
So, what would you like to do?
If that's good enough, I would like to.
Houdini's
Tali
like
would
near.
like to morph into it.
You turn into a spider.
Yes, please.
Okay. Houdini's like nearby, but trying to remain sort of like a little closer to you, and so he's not trying to draw any attention to you. Kind of flutters back up on your shoulder once you get to the house. And with a flash of magic, you watch as the world around you begins to grow more and more giant, and you grow smaller, turning into a tiny little spider.
Okay, buddy. If you can hear me, she sends out like with the mind link response.
Mm-hmm. Is there a range on that?
Must be within 70 feet.
I'd say this is outside of that, since it took you about 2 or 3 minutes to get here.
No, to Houdini.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Houdini looks monstrous now. He like hops over to you, but his beak is like the size of almost your body, and he like cocks his head.
Looking like a snack.
Okay, quieter now. Just do your hoots in your mind, okay?
He like nods, and he kind of like pops back and puts himself underneath like a nearby shrub that's close to the cabin, and like turns his eyes off so they don't have a sort of like this emitting this slight light from them, to try and kind of stay out of the way and stay hidden while you do your thing.
Good. Use your battery saving mode. If I call out for help, that's for you to go and find Domo. Understand?
You can still see him in the darkness of the bush, and he nods, understanding.
Okay, but just stay in the brush, okay? I'll be right back.
He nods again.
And Tali starts climbing up with her 8 legs and
All right.
8 eyes.
Where are you climbing to?
The spot that they could fit through the.
There's it's like a door in the center that's boarded up, and then on both sides there's 2 windows that look like they're boarded up.
There was a spot that you could like go through, like a finger. You said.
In each of those spots, all 3 spots, there's like just enough space for you to be able to climb through. So whichever one you want to go check out.
The right window first.
Okay. You crawl through the grass and begin to crawl up the kind of curved logs that make up this dilapidated shack, and begin to use your sticky spider legs to easily kind of clamp on as you begin to climb vertically, going up, and reach the space where this window is. It's boarded up, and you begin to pull yourself through, and you feel the larger portion of your abdomen kind of get stuck, and that's where I need you to make a acrobatics check to kind of be able to squeeze your way through. Oh, you did 13 already. Yeah, I'd say that's good enough. Yeah. You take a couple seconds, and you do that thing where like you use all your spider legs to just like push yourself through, and then your abdomen finally like compresses enough, and you kind of push through, and you nearly catch yourself from falling down to the bottom of this like space between the boards and the glass of the window here, and kind of take a second as you cling on to the boards on the inside now, and take a look at the glass window here. It's musty and old, and it doesn't look like you can see through it all that well through here, except you do, now that you're on the inside, able to see the actual glass of the window. You see down in the bottom left corner of the window here, there is a fracture in the glass, and you see a small opening enough for you to fit through down at the bottom.
Tali crawls straight to it.
All right, you begin crawling to it. Does your spider have any special vision?
Perception is 10.
Okay.
So it's even.
But she does also have dark vision.
Where? Could you guys share that with me?
Yeah, here, hang on.
Oh, I've got an ugly spreadsheet.
Yeah, I just punched it into Roll20.
Nice.
That link should work.
Yeah. Oh, it even opens a browser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is the one I have. Nice. Okay.
You begin to climb inside, Tali, making sure to kind of stick to the wall or the inside of the window frame as you kind of peer around here. It takes a second, but your eyes, because you have not only multiple, but eyes meant to see in the darkness of this pretty black room, your eyes quickly begin to adjust and you're able to see around. The interior of the shack here looks like a storm blew through it. You see a bed and a dresser are overturned. You see several pieces of dirty clothing that just litter the floor around here. There's a number of what look like torn papers that are scattered amongst the clothes. And you notice, without even having to make a check, on the adjacent wall to the right of you, so on the right side if you were to enter from the front, scrawled on the wall, written in what looks like either dried paint or maybe even blood, are large letters that make up the words, "Do not win."
Oh no. Oh, that's no good.
And then towards the left, what was?
Over to the left, there's nothing written or interesting on the wall. There's like a old little candle or candle holder where you could light it, and at the far end there's like I said, like a bed and dresser that are overturned, and that's really it. There's a picture frame on the far end against the far wall, but it's like torn and you can't even really make it out. So that is what you see without any checks.
Let's see. Tali wants to investigate the blood and see how fresh it was.
Sure. Oh, wunderbar. Fantastic. I would ask that you please roll me a d25 and a d3 first before I reveal what you find.
How do we do this?
Every time.
This would be fun.
This would be fun. This sounds like a fun time, I guess.
D3.
So you're 5 here. So you are on the table that's a little higher. Your weird pressure, like your hexi suit stretches across your very tiny form and across each of your legs up to the tips, where they end in little spider gloves. And you feel the number shift in one of your spider hands from a 5 to a 7. Let's just put that down first here. This goes up to 7, and then the trigger is 19, so let's see what happens there. This is on the moderate table. Let's see. Would you please roll me a 1d2, please? So, like /roll and then space 1d2. There you go. Appearing just floating next to you would probably be like a normal size, but this is giant. It's a massive cylinder-looking can that just floats in the air next to you. It begins to move, turning what looks like some type of nozzle at the top your way. You can see writing on the side that reads, Ironhide's Axe Body Spray as it turns your way. And with a push down of the nozzle, there is a massive blast of this pungent odor that sprays all over you, giving you a disadvantage in all charisma checks for the next hour.
No, not the axe.
As soon as it
Anything
does
but
this,
that.
there's still a lingering spray in the air. It smells gross and pungent. The can dissipates and disappears.
That's disgusting. Oh my goodness.
As you finish like a small spider coughing fit, you got a natty 20 for your investigation check. You can it's like you don't even really need to go check. You can just see it from here with your in tune spider eyes and your investigation skill. This blood was probably written about less than 3 days ago. And you can see at the end where it says do not win. Now that you're investigating it a little closer, the last bit of the end seems to trail off in such a way that suggests that either something happened and whoever wrote this needed to run away, or perhaps something happened to them where they were pulled away, but you're not sure. So it's definitely blood. And it definitely looks semi-fresh.
Jinkies. Yeah. Tali tries to just look around for any other clues, if possible. But first thing Tali would do is try to venture back.
Sure.
To
you're welcome.
Hootdini.
You're welcome to make any other checks that you'd like while you're in here.
Yeah. Before I go, I'm going to investigate the upturned bed.
Okay.
Um,
A 14, you head over to the bed and begin to... it takes you a little time to peer around it. Are you staying in your spider form? That's my first question.
As of now, yes.
Okay. So it like takes you a little bit of time. You use your spinneret to weave a web and like do your Charlotte's Web thing where you use two of your legs to kind of like lower yourself closer to the ground and begin working yourself over what feel like massive hills and valleys of just like dirty clothes. And at this distance, as you begin to work your way over them as a spider, you can see that not only are they like dirty and caked in like mud and stuff, but there are certain pockets and spots and areas on some of the clothing that denote what looks like dried blood as you make your way over to the bed. As you make your way over to the bed and sort of peer around, you can see it's like upturned over to its side, and you begin to try and just investigate and check what happened here. It looks like it was maybe overturned in a hurry in some type of chaotic fashion. And as you are continuing to investigate, you happen to find what looks like some type of silver necklace that's kind of wedged in between where the mattress was and the actual bed frame that's been turned to its side. It's like a single, so it's not like very big. So it could have just been easily like been overturned by a normal person relatively easily. But you see this strange looking necklace that kind of has this glowing silver reflection coming off of it as you near it. For you in spider size, it's like 3 times your size, so maybe a little difficult to move. You can maybe, if you work some webbing around it, you can move it somewhere, but it looks like it'd be difficult to move in your spider form. But that's what you see over there.
Oh, in that case, let's do an Arcana check on that necklace.
Sure. With a 13, I say that you are able to determine, using your Arcana check, that this is indeed a magical item, and you're able to determine that this is a necklace of adaptation. While wearing the necklace, you can breathe normally in any environment. You have advantage on saving throws made against harmful gases and vapors like cloud cure or stinking cloud, inhaled poisons, and the breath weapons of some dragons.
To pick that up easily, Tali changes back into her Kalishtar form.
Okay. Everything around you begins to shrink, and you kind of catch your footing standing on the uneven, clothes mounds underneath you, and you are able to now in your much taller form. This shack is pretty, short now that you're back in your normal form since you're naturally so tall. The roof up above you is only maybe 2 or so feet, so you feel slightly claustrophobic, but you're able to grab the necklace, and you now have that with you.
Let's see. How am I going to get out of here? Could I break the boarded doors? Because I'm on the opposite sides, but I'm kicking it.
You go up to the door, and it's boarded up on the outside, but as you try the handle to open the door and then try to kick out the boards on the outside, you find that the door is, well, that would be stupid. It's of course locked, but you're able to unlock it because you're on the inside. I know logic. I know how things work. And yes, you do open it up and find a series of boards that are stopping you from exiting. Would you like to kick the boards to try and begin to free yourself? If you're going to do that, I'd ask for a athletics check to try and just heave back and begin kicking at them to bust them off.
I would, that's a saving throw. No. Dang it, I wish I had, do I have bark skin on me?
You, even simple tools like a crowbar or anything in your packs may, give you a little boost in trying to just get some boards off the door. You could always just kick them, too. It's up to you.
You out of druid shape?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, you're out of the uses for the day.
Oh, from druid shape?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to carry out the necklace, so that's not possible.
Anything that you have on you comes with you when you shift forms, so it would carry.
They only took our weapons, right? Not our equipment.
Not your equipment. Only the weapons that you hold and do damage with.
Gotcha. Okay, let me first try an athletics. Tali just wants to just try a kick.
Sure. Yeah, you kind of just hold the insides of the door frame and just pull your body back and get ready for a kick. And you begin kicking against the wood. The wood is pretty settled in, and you know from you doing that perception check closer in that it's actually newer and fresher than the shack itself is. So you give it a couple kicks, and it's pretty sturdy. As you finish a round of kicking to try and see if you loosened any of it up, you see that maybe one board has been loosened a little bit from a couple kicks, but it's going to take a little bit more time. But as you kind of finish kicking, taking a second to catch your breath, you begin to hear rustling coming from the jungles nearby. As you hear the rustling, it sounds like the shifting of some type of plant and foliage moving and shifting quickly. You can hear the sound of what sounds like quick footsteps and a gasping for breath. As you continue to wait and hear this noise, a figure bursts in front of the door, it looks like a pirate. One who is gasping, nearly tripping over himself as he's pushed forward to the front of the shack. He notices, kind of looking through, that the door is open, but it's like his eyes move past you, Tali. Like he maybe not necessarily see you in the darkness inside of the shack itself. He begins to pound on the wood of the door frame and begins to, like, you can see, similar to the wood on the other doors, he begins to like stick his fingers through the open areas of the wood and tries to begin to pull on it from the outside. As he pulls, you can see, like, through the cracks, him put a foot onto the door frame and begin pull. You can hear him mutter under his breath, "Please, please, gotta get inside, gotta get away from him." What would you do?
I try to like hold the door and try to just not be noticed.
So the door's open
Just, like,
right now.
Pull it back.
Okay, you like trying to slowly close it?
Yeah, just close it and sneak back in.
All right, make like a straight a stealth roll, just because he may see the door closing. He doesn't necessarily see you. Okay, so you go to, like, you're trying to, as he's frantically doing this, begin to close the door, and he's just still frantically, like, pulling at the wood. You can actually kind of hear the sound of the wood groaning a little bit as he's just digging at it with his nails. You can kind of see his fingers are caked in a little bit of blood as he's pulling at it. He stops as you are close to closing the door, and then he stands up straight. You can see through the cracks, and he says, "Please, please let me in." He begins to yell a little bit as he smacks against the wood.
Who are you?
I was from the ship. I'm a pirate. It doesn't matter. The monster's here. Help me, he says, yelling.
She opens the door just to, like, let him in or pull him in, and then slams it closed.
You could do that, but there's multiple pieces of the wood barricade stopping you from doing it.
Oh, yeah. I thought I kicked something enough, but
You were able to loosen, like, one of them, but you would need more time to free the others. "Please," he says, whispering, "please help me." And he, like, digs his fingers back in between the spots that he can and begins pulling on the wood. "Let me in, please."
Come closer. Come here. Can I? That wood that I opened up. Can I, like, at least touch the person through it?
You could, like, you've loosened that wood, but it's not knocked off. But he's already, like, you could touch his fingers because his fingers are pushed through some of the open spots where he's trying to, like, pull them from the outside. So you can make contact with him, yeah. You begin to hear rustling coming from nearby as well. The shifting sound of foliage in between the gasping breaths of the pirate.
Hold on 1 second. Is this? I cast polymorph.
Okay.
On the pirate.
You cast
There.
polymorph on him. What are you intending to turn him into?
Something small enough to crawl in. Hold on, I'm sorry. I've never used this spell, so I have no idea.
That's okay.
Think of a tiny
Alright, there you go. Yeah, tiny spider, sure.
You attempt to turn him into a tiny spider. I will say the only point of contention is he's so freaked out right now that he doesn't fully realize you're attempting to cast this on him. So he is going to need to make a dex save or a wisdom save. So if he fails this, he will turn into, the polymorph will work. So let's see it real quick here. I'm going to do this on my phone, so I'm not rolling it in the middle of chat here. Hang on.
He's a pirate, so he has scurvy and has disadvantage.
I mean, he's not... he probably doesn't have a great wisdom save. You go to cast it, and in his frantic nature, Tali, he just probably doesn't realize what you're doing, and also rolls high, and the spell does not seem to take effect. He continues to frantically pull at the wood, huffing, and you now see, as you have the door sort of cracked open to speak with him, past him, looking through the cracks, pairs of what look like beams of yellowish, bright-looking light begin to pierce through the woods at about like eye level. They begin to move through these long rays of light, just begin to shift through the area, almost like a searchlight or like a hooded lantern. He turns his back, and you can see him now, like the silhouette of him pressing his back up against the wood of the door nearby you, and he looks and says, "No! No!" he yells as he throws up his hand. You can see a beam of light shoot his way, and you're just able to hide behind the door enough as the piercing yellow light engulfs his body. You can see his silhouetted appearance as he screams a blood-curdling scream. His silhouette disappears within the ray of light.
Hate to see it.
The two pair beams of light, this yellowish light piercing through the forest, are no longer looking at the door, or at least no longer pointing towards the door. But there are 2 or 3 pairs of these lights now, shifting and moving through the forest. What would you like to do?
Cry? No. Tali stays really still against the door, and
Are you keeping the door like pulled to peek out, or are you like closing the door?
I've closed the door, but I would try to go to peek out like from the window.
Okay, so you like silently finish closing the door and then just peer through the window. You, like wipe a little bit of like just musty dust from the window, and you're able to peer out through the cracks like you were through the door. You continue to see 2 pairs of lights, 3 pairs of lights. Now 6 are seemingly moving, roaming through the jungle, shifting around.
I search or scream in my head, "Help!" To Hootdini. But make sure you avoid the lights, baby. And then just like crawl back down near like the window, just like watching.
You hear the very, very subtle sound of that bush that Hootdini was in begin to shift. As you continue to wait. Domo.
Yes.
You're back at the campsite. Were you doing anything in particular while kind of like waiting on Tali to finish up her things?
Looking super inconspicuous, skipping
Gotcha.
stones and whatnot.
Seems like everyone else is kind of hunkered down for a little R&R. This isn't like a luxury resort, but the cots and stuff inside here are nice enough to catch up on some sleep and rest. It isn't long, Domo, as you're kind of continuing to just pan things out, keeping that horn held in hand just in case. You hear a shuffling through the trees, and as you peer ahead, you see Hootdini hopping through. Hoot hoot, hoot hoot. Hoot hoot.
But no Tali?
You like wait expectantly for Tali, but she doesn't come. Hootdini
Okay.
hops over to your foot, Domo, and like does that thing where it like taps it with its wing and continues to do hoot hoot over and over, almost like in like a alerted nature as it throws its winged, its silvered wing like back on that path that she went down.
What is it, boy? Trapped in a well?
Hoot hoot.
No, I take the horn and I twist it and I blow it, and this time I want to notify Lodger. He doesn't know I have this horn to my knowledge, but hopefully that'll be enough to wake him up.
What's it sound like in Lodger's
I
head?
mean, it sounds like a war horn, you know.
What's a vuvuzelas? You are woken from your nap, Lodger, by the sound of this like blaring sound that sounds like it's like coming from inside your mind more so than outside.
Ooh, what is this? It carries like some sort of message, right? It's not just noise.
No, it's just a horn.
Okay. All right. Let's see. He gets up and starts walking around. What's that noise? He starts saying and walking around, knocking on everybody's doors. Turn that off. Turn that off. And then eventually, he gets to where he would expect to find Domo and Tali, and nothing. So
Well, there's not even any rooms in these huts. They're just like single huts.
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Looks like there's some mystery afoot. I'll go off into the forest trying to find him.
Well, Domo's here.
As soon as Lodger's outside, Domo's gonna hop up and down and like try to like wave you over.
Lodger!
Yes.
Oh, all right. Hootdini and Tali found this path into the woods, right? And I said I'd keep a lookout while they went exploring. And Hootdini came back, but we ain't got no Tali, so that's a problem.
Yeah. Are you telling me that Hootdini ate Tali?
I peel open Hootdini's beak and look inside with one eye.
You see a bunch of like gears and other things shifting and whirring around.
Shake my head no at Lodger.
I think maybe she bit off more than she could chew. Tali, that is, not Hootdini.
Oh, sure. I like the pun either way. Well, then, you're saying that she is lost in the woods. And she needs us to rescue her.
Yes, that's right. But we need somebody here, so, in case the counselor comes along, we can run interference like.
Who should we get?
We need somebody that can find their way around the woods, and probably one or more people that can sneak real quiet like, I imagine.
Well, fortunately, stealth isn't my thing. Are you any good at it, or should we ask one of the other campers?
I wasn't special ops, but I know a little bit about sneaking around. Not a whole lot, but a little bit.
Well, then I'll stay here and make a ruckus if there's any noise, and you can go looking after Tali.
I don't think the Horn of Silent Alarm needs attunement. Yeah, I just hand him the Horn of Silent Alarm, and I explain it to him.
Sure.
It has three charges.
Blow in it and think of a friend.
Yeah, and as long as we're in 600 feet, we'll hear it and know that the counselor's coming. All right, so I rush in the tent. I shake everyone awake that's asleep, and say that I need some folks that are either good at sneaking or good at finding their way around the woods for a top secret mission.
So you go and wake everyone else up. Here's the thing. I don't remember if you guys have kept in mind your healing surges. However, 8 hours have not passed yet. You would not have the health that you have now if you used healing surges at the end of last session. Those of you who decide to go.
I mean, I already took my long rest. So
Yeah, I
really
don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember my spell slots.
I remember I had 4 hit dice left, but I was at full health.
Okay.
I think everybody else's health is correct on here as per the end of the.
Okay, I just wanted to make
yeah.
sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, resources would be right for me.
I think I have my spells right now.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to keep in mind.
Oh, I was woken up before my long rest, right?
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say is you guys are completely able to go and check this out. Just keep in mind if you got whatever spell slots you would have gotten back and stuff like that, you have not gotten that back, or exhaustion you may have incurred, that is still with you currently because you haven't finished your 8-hour rest first. This happened within 15 or so minutes before everyone kind of got to sleep.
So, is there anybody else that's good in the woods or can sneak around that would come with Domo to go after?
I get like a +5 to stealth, and I can go invisible.
That's good. That's good.
I ain't got the stealth, but I have a +3 in survival.
Yeah. 7 stealth, 3 survival here.
Where are you going? What?
Tali went off in the woods, right? Because Hootdini was up to something. But she didn't come back. We gotta find her before the counselor gets wise.
Oh, Tali. I didn't know they had it in them. Yeah. Alright.
Alright.
I'll go.
Hey.
Anything to get out of here.
Team Warcry, daring rescue mission. Let's go.
Daring rescue mission.
That wasn't very
That was
confident.
a perfect response. Thank you, Paige. Paige gave you Maz a +1.
Ooh.
Don't forget, you can use those. Yeah, thank you. So, who is going into the forest? Have we decided?
Domo almost drags VYSE along, but sees that Six is coming with her and is like, maybe let's not do that.
All right, Six, you and me. It's gonna be like a sniper spotter thing. We're gonna go tag team and find Tali, rescue her.
All right. Let's go.
Just fucking take off into the woods.
Okay.
Six is much faster than me, but I try to keep up as best I can.
Yeah, you guys try to head in pretty quickly, but are kind of have to take a little bit of time to follow along Hootdini, who seems to be like purposefully staying down close to the ground level of the jungle and doesn't seem to be flying. Hootdini just kind of like popping along, hopping through the grass and shrubbery as you follow along into the woods.
I cast invisibility before I leave.
Oh, you're going after all?
Yeah, I said I was going.
Okay. All right.
Unenthused, but going.
Team Warcry.
I thought we were supposed to be quiet. Shh.
Well, I'm yelling Team Warcry before we leave the camp.
Oh, okay.
As you guys push into the forest following Hootdini, Tali, you have been watching from the open spaces of the wood planks, looking through, watching these rays of light just shifting around through the tree line, in between the trees in the distance. It's probably maybe been, 4 or 5 minutes. You know Hootdini took off, and you continue to wait. After about the 6 or so minute of time passing, you watch as one pair of the rays disappears, and another, and another, and it looks like all of them have disappeared. It's quiet now. And then you begin to hear the sound of rustling foliage in the distance, still peering through and trying to keep your breath low, looking through the cracks of the cabin. As you peer ahead, you're able to see in the twilight of the opening, pushing through now, is a hopping Hootdini, Domo, Six, and Flash. The three of you, as you come into this clearing, see what I explained to Tali when she initially got here. A dilapidated looking shack with a door up at the front, 2 windows on the sides, all boarded up, a shovel down at the side to the right, tipped into the dirt, and what looks like some just strewn about nails nearby. You guys didn't see anything along the way as you got here. And as you look up ahead, you see this old shack. But it's too dark, and because of the things that are boarded up, Tali, you would know that they can't see you inside just yet. Is there anything
Domo's first instinct would be to run up against near the window and tactically press herself against it like a secret agent and try to peer in through the window.
Okay, Domo, like you do this, and you begin to peer in through the window, and you see, staring back at you, 2 eyes, as Tali's staring right at your face.
Domo almost screams.
Holy shit! What are you doing?
Tali like opens the door, and her face is just covered in tears, just tears streaming down, just completely crying and sobbing. Just I can't get out.
All right. You can't get out of the cabin now.
No.
We'll get you. Six, come here.
Right? Are there like boards?
Yeah,
Is that what's happening?
it's like, so on the windows and the door frame, it's fully boarded up. You can only see through like smaller slits large enough to like slip some fingers through. But you're able to see, now that you get closer, you can see Tali kind of standing ahead of the darkness of the shack behind her.
Okay,
She's trapped inside.
Is gonna take one of her hand axes and try to like pry the boards off.
Sure. Yeah, you whip it out and begin to like pry them out.
Domo wants to help with that using the help action.
Okay.
Go on, get stuck in there.
You point out to Six like portions of the boards where it'd be good to wedge it in or really kind of cave in these boards, and then go ahead and give me an athletics check, 6 with advantage, because you're being helped by Domo. Oh, nice.
25.
Very nice. Yeah.
Best thing you can roll.
It takes probably like 3 or 4 minutes, but you're able to like just chop through most of these boards. Like you don't get all of them at the top, but you get enough now, and you like clear them out to where Tali, you can see now a open space where like if you were to hunch down, you could like push through and exit the shack.
Come on, Tali, let's go before she notices.
Tali's like just struggling to walk up, but she hears what you said and is like nods to like follow you, but she's still crying. She's like, there was someone running, and it was so close, and I couldn't.
It's all right. Just focus on one foot in front of the other for now. Come on, let's get back to camp.
Back to
He nods
camp?
and follows.
Why
Yes,
would we
Six.
go back there? This is
Six.
our chance
Chance for what? Where are we gonna go?
to leave. Anywhere but that camp.
The rest.
Listen,
I don't
we
know.
can't-
Is everybody
rather-
there, or is it just I forgot. It's just Domo, Six.
Domo,
And Flash.
you see Domo 6, and as you near the others, Hootdini actually now kind of like flitters up and kind of works his way back into like your side and your packs, and just looks at you with a little bit of encouragement as he kind of snuggles close to your wayside.
Okay, there, and she like starts to just taking deep breaths. Just there's two. Okay. There's writing. And then finally she's able to like catch her breath and just explain everything that just happened in just hushed whispers. She doesn't want to go back to camp, but she's walking. She's just trying to get away from that hut.
It's fine. We listen, Six. We just gotta get back for now, right? Let's regroup, think about what's going on, and then come up with a plan.
I'd rather literally go drown in the ocean than go back to the camp.
Six. A good soldier knows when to follow orders.
We can't win, Domo. We can't win. We can't go back. It doesn't. We have to regroup somewhere else. It doesn't make.
You're with the other team. How do we know you're not just trying to fool us?
Oh, God damn it. God damn it.
Do not win. That sounds like something the other team would say.
Listen, I've been around a fair bundle of crocodile tears, and them ain't no crocodile tears, Six. Listen, if we gotta regroup, we have to find the others first anyway. We gotta go back to camp one way or the other. What we do after that, we can decide. But we can't just leave everybody else high and dry.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
Six, you can't do this on your own.
Tali turns to Six and says, who told me about, or who told us about the pirate? Who knew the pirate? And just like says it over and over, trying to remember.
Pirate?
It was.
Me. It was me, Lodger, and Flash, right? That saw the pirate?
Yeah, you remember running into a pirate, and if you want, Six, you could like explain the look of the pirate to Tali.
Okay.
As Six explains the just like general features of the pirate, that matches up to the pirate that you saw, Tali. That male, kind of ragged clothed, pirate-looking figure.
I turn to Six and persuade her, saying, that was him. I watched him disappear. I couldn't save him. We can't. I'm not playing this, the Candee's game anymore.
Domo thinks for a second and says,
Well, that sounds like the other team's forfeiting, don't it, Six? We better go tell Candee so we can get our other merit badges. I mean, you can't really call yourself a winner if you don't have a trophy now, do you?
I don't need to call myself a winner, but whatever.
I mean, VYSE is already 10 times more winner than you are. Look at all his films. I think he's just trying to one-up you.
What the fuck are you doing right now? Let's...
She gets so mad with mentioning VYSE.
Mentioning VYSE. He's better than...
Fine. This is the way to get Six to do anything. Just mention VYSE.
Let's get him to want to beat up VYSE.
Yeah.
This is the way.
Great. This is the way. All right, Domo...
Six begrudgingly turns to go back to camp.
Domo very wearily pushes a belligerent Six and an inconsolable Tali back to camp.
Right. And similarly, it only takes about 3 or so minutes to work your way back through the forest trail. But as you do, nothing seems to stand in your way. There's nothing terrifying or anything that sounds like what Tali is explaining here that you run into. And you soon find yourselves back at the campsite. What would you like to do?
I try to gather everyone in one hut.
Sure.
If I can.
Sure. kind of wake up the others. Some of them are probably already awake from you mentioning some stuff in terms of getting everyone together. So you kind of gather the party in the same small shack that you all, you, Tali, Domo, Musa, and Harper initially woke up on. Or no, not Harper. It was Gnasher initially woke up in. You guys all gather together. I'm assuming everyone gathers together. Okay.
Yep.
Come on in, everybody.
Yoink. There we go. And then Hootdini crawls into your packs. All right, you guys all find yourselves back in that initial hut that some of you woke up in.
What's going on?
So, Tali found something out in the woods. Tali, tell him.
Tali at this point is now completely resolved and now ready to just fight something. But you can see like in her eyes just like a little red. She just retells everything that's happened from the wall to the writing, the boarded up hut, the pirate, everything to everyone else.
All right, so you just fully convey the things that you ran into there, so everyone gets a lay down of the info that you found there. The writing on the wall, you kind of show the magic item, the encounter with the pirate, and the strange pairs of lights that shot out from the forest tree line. Then one of them hit him, and he just disappeared in a scream in the rays of the light.
Very strange. Does that match up to the way that we saw that was the same pirate that we traveled with, though, right?
Yes, Six and Tali seem to have confirmed that they were more than likely the same pirate that you guys ran into earlier.
And Tali, you told us that Hootdini got hit by the light before, right?
Hit by the light?
Yeah, like Hootdini.
When you sent it out at last time?
Yeah, like last session.
Oh yeah. Or at least it wasn't the light. Candee just handed them back to me.
Oh. Well, there are certainly puzzle pieces that fit together somehow.
Yeah, it's a funny story, so which one of you came up with this? Do not win. I know it wasn't VYSE, so who was it?
I mean, we didn't come up with anything.
I mean, Domo is like 99% convinced that Tali is telling the truth, but she'll make an insight just to humor.
Sure.
To humor. I mean, dude, Domo's. Her predisposition before was Tali was telling the truth. So
Hard
now
to
she's
read.
slightly suspicious of Tali.
Hard to read.
But still thinks she's probably telling the truth.
You
Did I
believe
do
this?
counter?
You believe this stuff, Domo?
Well, you do make a good point, Six, but I don't know. It's an awful long way to go to try to get us off our game. I mean, we're already a man down.
Thought that there was another structure. We haven't seen another structure here besides these little huts.
Well, I mean, that was the first time Tali saw them pirates and them lights like you others. And, I mean, it seems to match up with the descriptions perfectly. Something's going on.
All right, well, so if we're not supposed to win to get out of here, what are we gonna do? We can't just walk off, it seems, otherwise you get attacked by those lights. What do we do? How do we get out of here?
I think, for now, until we know more information, our plan should still be the same. We should try to tie. Because, I mean, a tie's not a win, right?
Yeah, or do you think we could all like throw it? Would that work too? I forget, were the other events timed?
No, not that you remember.
Well, we know that winning is bad if we're to believe the blood stain in the cabin. And we know that losing is bad because Candee told us we'd have to stay here forever. So...
And we'd probably turn into skulls. He holds up one of those little skulls that we found earlier.
What are you doing playing with skulls? Put that down.
I needed a pillow.
Well, if winning is bad and losing is bad, the only other option is to tie. If we both throw the game, we'll both lose.
Or we can leave now and take our chances against the orbs.
We can't fight lights.
Tired for that shit. There's literally zero chance that I get away from anything faster than a baby crawling. Literally a baby crawling. Huge up to me.
Okay, we leave here, leave Lodger, and then she just goes on and just completely forgets Lodger.
I'll sell you out. Don't you worry about me. I've made worse decisions before.
No, nobody's selling anyone out.
So we kill Lodger.
That's not the solution.
What if? I mean, it's not a great short-term plan, but I mean, if we keep losing, we have to start searching for the hexamal. Because if we find the hexamal and get rid of it, it doesn't matter what she says. We'll get transported out of here.
But
it doesn't matter what Candee says.
But again, though, I still think that best bet is for us to tie. In that case.
Tie, lose, either way, we're stuck here.
Even if we tie.
We can't just walk aimlessly. We need to find the hexamal.
That's my point. If we leave here, we can find the hexamal.
By wandering aimlessly?
No, our Zeus will help us. And she Zeus!
Wait up!
Shifting out from your collar is one of the hexes that sort of like pops up nearby, and it looks and says,
"There is one close, but it is hard to sense where exactly."
Do you have a general like direction, maybe like a northeasterly or something?
They're quiet for a second, and then they look back at you, Musa, or the one on Six's suit looks back at you and says,
"Something affecting us."
What are these badges? Musa just tries to like yank it off.
You go to pull, and the hexie screeches.
I'm sorry. What does that mean? What happened?
I think it means these badges are attached to our suit. And seems to me the only thing that could do that would be another hexie. But I think if it were Candee, our suits would have warned us already.
Yeah, we checked her.
I'm thinking that that's who Candee's working for.
You know what? What if I go look in that in the hut she's in while she's in there? If I go and I use blink, I'll be able to see in there, but she won't be able to see me.
Isn't it that thing where you randomly pop back into existence every so often?
Yeah, I guess that's kind of how it works, but I don't know any. I don't know. Maybe if she's talking with somebody, if someone's telling her, like, maybe they can I can get some sort of clue if I can just get in there. I can't do it for long, but.
All right. First things first. We need a good night's sleep.
Yeah, that's right.
Everybody start thinking of plans, and we can talk tomorrow. Hopefully, somebody will be struck with inspiration.
But the plan so far, Six, is everyone tie. Six. No
Bill
winning.
Lodger
No winning.
and run.
No.
I got it.
Six. You two should sleep in different huts.
Six is gonna walk out of the hut, but before she walks out, she's just gonna do one of these at Lodge.
Lodger looks behind him.
Roger, you should make that copy of you so it can watch you while you sleep.
I can only do it for so long. About 10 minutes, and then I'm pooped.
Oh, well, good luck.
Okay.
So is everyone deciding to go ahead and take their long rest in the meantime?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. She'd have
Alright.
to kill me in one, and I don't think she's got it in her.
Oh, God.
As each of you take your 8-hour rests, now you will get, if you haven't already, get your spell slots back, your health will come back, you'll get half of your hit die back as well. You keep your weird pressure, but most of you notice any of these lingering effects that the weird had triggered. Six, your smaller size, Musa, your wiener fingers begin to dissipate. And at least after a couple hours, the effects begin to shift away. It seems like not all of these effects are like a permanent thing, even while still in a collateral reality. As you are resting, Domo, a
Before we
face...
rest, I want to try and mitigate once.
Okay, sure.
I think that's this. Did I do it? Did it work?
You did attempt to mitigate, but you have aggravated. Please give me a D3 roll. And mark off.
Yikes.
So you go up to 6.
Son of a bitch.
Domo, on your collar of your hexamal suit, a Hexi face pops up. And as everyone is resting, it looks to you and says,
Why? Why must we absorb the other Hexi?
That's a pretty heavy question to be springing on me before bed. Listen, I'm just following orders. I'm here because I need to... Well, let's not get into why I'm here, but I'm not telling you to absorb the other ones. That's what's her face back at the mastermind. She's the one telling us to do all this.
For what purpose?
Well, for me, it's to pay off a debt. So, it's how I'm paying off the debt?
The Hexi looks at you, and its face slowly begins to subside back into the collar. And before...
Wait. Do you not like absorbing all the other Hexis? Aren't they bad?
It pauses for a second, and then says,
What is bad?
Oh, Joey. We're getting philosophical real late at night. Not conforming to the moral standards of a given society is bad.
I don't understand.
All right, so you know how, like, folks aren't supposed to murder other folks, right?
No.
Example.
Jeez, what?
Domo like looks over to Musa frustrated, like as if it's like Musa's fault that the masterminds don't teach their creations anything.
It looks at you and says,
We have seen many wildlife murder others to survive. Why is murder wrong?
Oh my god. Well, listen, right? It's what separates the higher beings from the lower one. It's why we got, buildings and spelljammers and shit. It's because we're not clubbing each other over the head no more.
If the higher beings murdered all the lower beings who did not murder, only the higher being murderer would be at the top.
I mean, yes, this is true. And indeed, well, okay, look, there's this thing called equality, right? And like hobgoblins are at the top, obviously, and then you got goblins, then humans, and other similar races, and then you got like cows and pigs and such, right? And because they ain't as smart and they don't have culture.
This hierarchy does not exist in nature.
Well, it exists in hobgoblin textbooks. All right, maybe I'm not explaining this right. It stands to reason that the smart creatures, the one that got the tools and the know-how, they's the ones on top, right?
It seems to us, logically following through your words, that a smart creature who also murdered would be the pinnacle of them all.
No, see, because you're combining two different things, because bad in nature is not the same as bad in society. That's why society's got all them sticky rules and whatnot. And so, you don't bump off an equal. If you bump off an equal, then who's to know what they would have become before you killed them? They could have been smarter than you if you had given them the chance, but a pig's a pig. Pig always gonna be a pig. Pig ain't gonna be smarter than you. You may as well make bacon out of it, right?
We do not understand. You say we are higher because we do not murder, but to stop the variant heximals and their destruction, we murder them.
Oh, it's because they made their choice already. They already has done bad things, so they's not equals no more.
I feel like a hobgoblin is probably not the ideal thing to describe morality to people.
Great. Which is like, this is more than I learned in my. This is more than the maesters ever told me.
It says,
So then we are correct. We are the hires, but also the murderers. So we are the most efficient.
Don't tell Lexi I told you this, but I mean, it seems to me like you might be onto something.
it takes a second, staring at you blankly with its black sulk eyes before its face slowly pulls back and recedes into your collar, disappearing.
It's got a lot to think on.
Listen, Musa,
I feel uncomfortable with what we have introduced into these creatures' lives.
I feel like maybe looking at things through the lens of a hobgoblin was not exactly what it needed to hear at that particular moment.
By the way, since when you said that hobgoblins were at the top of the list, Musa transformed herself to look like a hobgoblin. So
nice.
But yeah, I mean, I couldn't have explained it any better than you. That was a lot.
Well, maybe they should ask Tali or Lodger next time. They might know something a little bit more about normal people philosophy.
I feel like Tali would have a good definition for good versus bad. She seems like that type.
Yeah, maybe strong and violent are the best isn't the best thing to be imprinting into the memory.
See, it's probably best the maesters don't even try this because they don't really care about that kind of stuff when they're experimenting.
You know, you're right. Being a scientist is hard.
They don't really. They like that gray color. Everything's gray.
Testing,
I like
testing, testing, testing.
Domo rolls over and goes to sleep.
I like red. Good night.
Yeah, you guys get some sleep and go ahead and get your rests in. Let's take like a quick little like 2-3 minute break if you guys need to go to the PP zone. And real quick, before anybody else in the chat goes to the PP zone, I'm about to roll. I'm about to roll here. Here we go. I'm rolling. Mose, you're part of our team. I gotta roll it again. Paige, you just won yourself a $10 digital gift card to either Steam or the DMs Guild. I will hit you up afterwards, after the stream ends, or just send me a DM on Twitch so you remind me, because as you saw probably at the beginning of the stream, I'm very forgetful. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to send you a $10 digital gift card to either Steam or the DMs Guild. I will message you after this session so I can get some deets and send that your way. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, let's take just a quick little PP break for everybody, and then we'll come back and you guys will finish your rest and we'll see what happens after that. So we will be right back.
green onions.
Green onions?
Ring.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's
Yeah, I
some
heard green
bougie shit
too.
right there, my dude.
Like, you like scallions on your.
Because the weather's getting cold, my nose is stuffed up.
Oh.
Now you need caramelized red onions or pickled red onions are good too.
So you guys take your long rest, and you are awoken by the sound of Candee's bullhorn as she says, "Campers, time to wake up, rise and shine. I got some wonderful stew ready for each of you."
On after Musa wakes up, before she leaves the hut, I forget if I've done this before, but I want to try again to do an Arcana check on the merit badge, and I want to use my gain +5 to Arcana checks for 1 minute.
Okay, sure.
So,
why don't you get a natty 20?
Right. 11 + 5, 16.
Okay.
Glad I used it.
These merit badges are absolutely magical, and seem to be just through some form magically adhered to your Hexi suits, almost as if they are like a part of the suit itself, strangely enough.
Does it seem like they're drawing any sort of like energy, or can I tell that maybe from the suit?
I would say you are unsure with that check.
Okay.
So yes, anybody finishing a long rest, if you have exhaustion, reduce that by 1 level. Yada yada yada. Those of you waking up, you can hear Candee probably yelling from what sounds like the front of the main cabin building to each of you, and you're welcome to do as you please. What would you like to do?
Well, we gotta eat.
Yeah, Domo's hungry.
Starving won't help.
She sees you, Domo, and Musa stepping out and says, "Whenever y'all are ready, go ahead and scratch those sleepy sands out of your eyes and come on inside. I got some warm stew ready for everyone."
Before we go in, Flash is gonna eat like some of his terrible sponsored food, so he doesn't have to eat any of the stuff that she's serving, just whatever rations he has.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of just chomp down on some rations as he breaks them open.
He pulls out Nature Box, which you can get for free.
They're not sponsoring us.
Oh shit! If only.
Domo sniffs the air.
Oh yeah. Does it smell good, Jason?
Yes. It smells like a mixture of vegetables and some type of beef.
Oh, and Musa still looks like a hobgoblin.
Okay.
Nice.
You see Candee chuckle a little bit as she watches you kind of walk past her.
We're the top of everything.
Okay.
That's what Domo said.
Sure.
Don't mention it. You know.
Hobgoblin supremacy? What?
It's about being humble.
Oh yeah, wasn't one of these badges for humble? Oh, you won that one.
That's right, I did.
I'm sure it was
Discordian.
compassion.
Discordian bought you an extra inspiration, Musa.
Ooh, thank you.
Hey, that hobgoblin superiority already paid off.
All right. I'm assuming everyone sort of like piles into the mess hall area.
Yeah.
I don't think Six is gonna go.
Okay.
Six is gonna stay in
Flash,
her
are
hut.
you staying?
I'll go.
Okay. I'm gonna take your token then, yoink. Camp Counselor Candee steps inside, and in the interior, for those of you in here, Tali, are you going as well?
Yes.
Okay. So yoink you Oh, sorry. As you all enter, you're able to see inside that there is similar to before, but this time there's a nice big looking silver pot on a table that has steam rising from it and several bowls nearby. Candee works her way around one of the big tables that the pot is on and uses one of those long spoons to dip in and begins to pour a couple bowls for everyone. Come on, I know that after a long rest, all of our stomachs are just waiting for some nice food. Come and get it, she says. She pours each of you some of the bowls, those of you who take it. She doesn't really make a fuss, those of you who decide not to, but she just kind of pours some and leaves them on the table for each of you. You can see that the stew looks like it's made out of, as you smell it, a mixture of vegetables and what looks like some type of gamey meat that's inside as you take it. There's silverware set at the individual tables for you to eat.
Domo just takes a big chunk.
Mm-hmm. She turns and says, now, once y'all get your stomachs full, we'll move on to the third of what is 4 trials. So eat up, she says with a beaming smile.
Can I try to identify the meat?
Sure.
History?
Yeah, history, nature, I'll even take survival.
I'll do history, because that's my good skill.
I will do survival.
Sure.
Oh, I'll give you advantage on the history check.
Oh, fish for a crit. Fish for a crit.
I'm gonna opt to not roll the advantage.
Okay.
Tali, it's a little hard to tell what this is from. I'd say Domo, with your history though, that's a pretty high check. I'd say Tali, it's not.
I mean, if it's weird.
Yeah. Tali, you're able to tell it doesn't seem like anything that you would be used to, like in a sort of camp area with flora and fauna around. It doesn't seem like any type of venison or anything like that would come from something like that. Domo, you're able to actually inspect it, and strangely enough, this seems like, as you kind of touch a little bit to your tongue and try to think through your mind of the various meats that you've had through time, this tastes a little like some type of amphibian meat.
Oh, weird. Domo shrugs and continues eating.
Yeah, it's a little gamey, a little slippery than you'd be used to, but it still tastes relatively good along with the rest of the stew.
I mean, we're next to a river. That doesn't really raise any alarm bells to
Yeah,
a hobgoblin, I
there's
guess.
like a small stream running through here, yep.
Oh, Candee, you were gonna tell us who made those bombs.
No, I didn't plan to. It wasn't me.
Well, why don't you anyways?
I found them, she says with a smile.
And you buried them all by yourself? Must have taken you ages.
It sure did.
Oh, you're not giving away a lot, you know.
Oh, what would you like me to say? I could bring one to you and you could inspect it if you'd like. I don't know much about them otherwise, that they, if you step on them, they go boom.
They do indeed.
Well, where'd they come from?
I found them here on the island.
On his team building exercise, it seems a bit excessive.
I think that's the perfect type of team building exercise, to be honest with you.
You're very strange.
I suppose I am, but aren't we all really deep down inside?
No. We're all perfect deep down inside.
Maybe you are larger.
Oh, well, that's true.
Seeking perfection is never a bad thing. You guys, those of you who are eating your food, can continue and finish it off.
Tali doesn't eat for the second time.
Okay.
Or at least pretends to, like, trying to
You
just
like
doesn't
eating, yeah.
eat it.
Okay. Your stomach is probably grumbling, although you probably have some type of rations or something on your person somewhere in your packs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you skip it out. Those of you who do eat or do not, like I said, you finish your meals. And with a smile, Candee goes around and collects everyone's bowls. and then turns and says, "So, now that most of you've had a hearty meal, are you ready for the next trial?"
Yeah, let's go.
Sure.
Excellent.
I don't know how to answer that. What's the trial? I had to be assertive last time.
Oh, well, let me gather everybody together, she says. Where's Six at? Looking around. What is Six doing?
She's still in her hut, just drinking. Yeah, she's definitely drinking.
Drunk.
Progressively drunker.
Is she drinking a lot?
I mean, her tankard of plenty has 3 pints. And I'll be honest, I'm not a big drinker, so I don't know how much is a pint. Is a pint enough to get a bunny?
If you're bunny-sized, remember in Lord of the Rings when the hobbits had the huge glasses? That was a pint to them.
Pint.
It was huge
To them.
Stein.
Yeah.
She's probably had a good bit of her tankard.
She's not eating.
And she's not eating.
And she's tiny.
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
This is fine.
This is great.
This is great. She can. She's the only one who would try to win. So
I'm gonna use my card for advantage.
Okay, sure.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna use your card for advantage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Too bad it's not on saves.
Usually you'd at least have some type of buzz by now, Six, but man, this whole weirdness of this island and Camp Carrot, it's just sort of like even through your drinking, it's kind of keeping you on high alert. You don't suffer any levels of drunkenness.
I can't even get a buzz around here.
Amazing.
I can totally see this just making her more angry.
At this point, Candee is kind of pulled everyone outside and pulls her bullhorn back to her mouth. "Oh, Six! We're waiting on you, honey!"
Go on without me. Leave me here.
She says, "Well, I suppose I just have to let the other team win if you don't participate."
Six remembers that VYSE is on the other team. And she's like, I'm coming.
Gonna stamp out.
Yeah.
Smell like beer poured in a urinal.
She burps.
Somehow it got worse.
So each of you step out, and as you do, hang on just a second. Let's try and fix this image here for Kevin's character on the stream because it's tweaking me.
It just doesn't match.
Yeah, everyone's is good. Let's try and change that one there. Okay, that should. There we go. Candee turns around and says, "This challenge, the next one, 3 out of 4, will be taking place right here. No need to go trekking off somewhere distant. How about that?"
Okay.
Now, your 3rd out of the 4 challenges, this one, is for reciprocity. Reciprocity is learning to share what you have with others, and for the same to be mutual back to you. It's important to be able to give back and forth, especially to those in need. This trial will test that. Remember, only the team with the most badges will be able to leave the camp, so do your best to help yourselves and your teammates. The stakes have never been higher, she says. She reaches into her backpack and pulls out a strange-looking round plant that's a mixture of greenish and bluish hues. There's like a series, it looks like, think of like a rubber band ball, but it's a series of small vines and leaves that are wrapped up tightly and like a soccer ball size looking rounded plant. She holds it up with one hand to each of you. This here is a shy shrub. It's a rare plant that's native to the island here. I'm going to have you each form a circle with a space in between each of you here at the center of the camp, and we'll be playing a game of toss with the shrub. The shy shrub requires no roots, relying on its predators to pick it up and transport it to places it can bear its seeds hidden inside. The seeds have a sweet smell that attracts others to it. But, true to her name, the shy shrub can get a little bit of stage fright if she's handled for too long, activating her defense mechanism if she gets too worked up. This game will have each of you taking turns tossing the shy shrub from one person to the other, each time raising the chance for her to activate her defenses. When she does, if you drop her on the ground, you'll be out of this particular game. The last person to stand will win for their respective team. She turns to Team Hootdini. Now, Team Hootdini, you'll have an advantage here with a whole extra member, so don't waste the opportunity. She turns and says to each of you, for this particular trial, no magic or trickery. You'll be simply using your bare hands to pass along the shy shrub to whoever you want. You're welcome to pass it along from team to team every turn, or maybe you want to pass it along to some team members to cook the shrub up before tossing it to the others in the hopes that she'll get shy and trigger her defenses. So, once we form a circle, I'll flip a copper here to see who goes first and we'll get things started. So she asks for all of you to form a circle with a space in between each of you. And she kind of steps back a little bit.
You get to do that.
Well, go on then.
Is there a certain place we have to center up on, or?
She just, yeah, no, not particularly. She just kind of waits for you guys to form a circle.
Close enough.
All right. Spread it out a little bit, everybody.
Fantastic.
Come on. VYSE.
Vice, you stand over here.
Okay.
Flashback one.
That's a
There
perfect
we
circle.
are.
She laughs and says, well, that's probably good enough.
Triangle, bro.
It's more like an oblate spheroid.
She looks and says, as an added bonus, no matter who wins this one, I'm going to go ahead and give you back your weapons. Now that we've taken some time to get to know one another and that we trust each other. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Someone roll a 1d2 and call it.
Hey, look at you.
All right. Do you want your team to go first or the other team to go first?
Let's start with it. I want it. Give it to me.
All right, she says, and she tosses this like soccer ball sized plant wrapped up in these vines over your way. As you catch it, Lodger, here's what's going to happen. Every person will toss the shy shrub to whoever they want. Each time they do, I'll secretly make a cumulative 1d4 shy roll, with that new person catching the shrub rolling a d20 luck roll. If you get over the current shyness value, you'll be safe. But if you roll under it, her defenses will trigger and you'll need to make a save in order to maintain your grip on the ball. I'm not going to reveal the values of my d4 rolls so it doesn't get too gamey, but I will give you a hint at the result each time you catch the shrub. So it may tighten up a little bit, or it may tighten up a lot in your grip, giving you an idea of how high or low I roll. Also,
what are we rolling again?
We're not rolling anything.
You guys aren't rolling anything. You're just deciding who to toss it to.
Okay.
Also, I don't normally allow any bonuses or advantage on just like d20 luck rolls. But for this particular game, I will allow you guys to use whatever at your disposal. So chat with inspiration +1s, go for it. So with that said, as you catch the ball, Lodger, I'm going to make a d4 roll, and I would like to ask you to please make me a 1d20 roll, just a naked luck roll.
Ooh.
All right. You catch the ball in your hands and seize up as you nearly drop it from the initial catch. But you hold it in your hands and you can feel it tighten up a little bit. Not much. It is your go. So who would you like to toss the ball to?
Catch VYSE. Whoop.
You toss it to VYSE. VYSE, go ahead and give me a d20 roll.
10.
You catch it and feel it tighten up pretty hard this time.
Amanda gets an inspiration from Mama Bear.
Oh, thank you, Mama Bear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't forget. You guys got your extra stuff you can use for these rolls. All right, VYSE. You now hold the Shy Shrub in your hands, able to pass it to whoever you'd like to. Remember, the last person standing is the winner. Who would you like to toss the ball to? Or the shrub?
6.
You toss it Six's way. Six. Please give me a d20 luck roll. Just a naked roll unless you want to add stuff to it before you roll.
I need to draw an inspiration card.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, here. Go ahead and have... I forgot. You can't just grab that. Here, go ahead and grab one of those. Actually, let's do... Shuffle. Yeah, go ahead and grab one of those.
Okay, let me look at it real quick just before I roll anything.
Sure.
Okay. All right, D20. That's a 14.
You catch the ball, or the shrub rather, and you feel it tighten up in your hands a little bit.
She glares at VYSE and throws it to him, probably harder than she needs to.
All right.
Oh my god.
She tosses it immediately back to VYSE. VYSE, another d20 naked luck roll unless you want to add stuff to it.
I'm just gonna go straight away. 16.
All right. Yeah, you catch it pretty heartily, and it doesn't feel like it tightens up too much in your hands.
Okay, pitch and catch. Throws it back.
Back to 6.
16.
You catch it. It tightens up a little bit.
Throws it back to VYSE, even harder.
All right, come on now.
You can't provoke her.
All right.
19.
You catch it like it goes above your head, but you catch it like throwing an arm up in the air. It tightens up a little bit.
Territory now.
Head fakes and throws it to Domo.
All right, Domo. A d20 naked roll. You can add stuff to it if you'd like.
I mean, that's a Luke roll right there.
Oh, man.
You
Sorry.
catch it in both hands, Domo, and then you watch as soon as you catch it, a series of sharp-looking thorns shoot out, jutting out several inches from all around the shrub. And you can feel a sensation stabbing into your hands. Please make a Constitution saving throw as it pierces through the Hexi gloves.
Now, don't tell me if this succeeds or fails, because I have the Hobgoblin save face thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna add the Hobgoblin save face thing to that. Oh, but unfortunately, oh wow, this is actually really bad when there's only 2 people on my team, quote unquote. Because I only have 2 allies nearby, technically, I guess. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate.
You have a +1.
It's true. I'll use the +1.
What would that make the overall then?
That's going to be 12.
With a 12, Domo, everyone watches as Domo catches. You see these thorns jut out for a second. And Domo just like immediately kind of stares up at the sky like she had a thought and just drops the ball on the ground. Domo, your mind comes back to you and you're just sort of like looking around, almost as if you just like lost your way. You almost step back into the stream and you see the ball on the ground.
No.
This is why I hate Dungeons and Dragons sometimes, because my shit is like, this is the thing I'm supposed to be good at.
Oh, no.
3 and then a 4.
+5. Oh my god.
Candee
Alright.
turns and says, "You see, the shrub activates his defenses. It messes with the brain with the chemicals that come out of the thorns. Kind of makes you forget where you are. You usually stop paying attention to the ball. I'm sorry, Domo, but you'll have to step out."
Domo sucks on one of her fingers that I'm sure was impaled by the spines.
I thought he was gonna throw it back to Six.
All right, Domo is
Domo
out.
steps out.
Candee tosses the ball this time to you, Flash. Actually, no. I'm sorry. She will hand the ball to you, Flash, and allow you to toss it.
I will toss it to Musa.
All right. Kind of just turn and toss it up in the air high for Musa to catch. Give me that D20 roll unless you want to add anything, Musa.
Not this time.
All right.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. These are luck rolls. These don't trigger the weird. You catch it. It seems to tighten up fairly well from its after it kind of relaxed from its initial shock to put Domo out, and it is your go.
Toss it right to Six.
All right, you toss it Six's way. Six. I need a roll.
That's a crit.
Holy shit. All right, you feel the ball or the shrub in the shape of a ball tighten up pretty hard in your hands, and you are up.
I'm going to toss it to Lodger.
All right, you toss it Lodger's way. Lodger, give me that D20 roll.
Bad.
Lodger, you catch it, and you see thorns quickly jut out, stabbing into your hands. Please give me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm gonna use my advantage. And Constitution. Save me. 14.
With a 14, everyone watches as Lodger drops the shrub onto the ground.
Oh.
Oh, shoot.
Lodger, you caught the ball and then just for a second felt your mind wander. And you kind of like looking over at Flash and then you remember that you had just caught the ball, but as you look down, you see it laying on the ground. "Sorry, Lodger," Candee says. "That puts us down to 5.
Good
Hey,
try,
welcome to the Winners Club, big guy.
Okay.
Candee steps over and then this time hands it to you, Tali. "It's all yours, honey. Toss it to whoever you like."
Tali tosses it to Flash.
All right. She tosses it across the aisle over to Flash. Give me that D20 roll unless you want to add anything, Flash.
Just straight roll.
Sure. All right. You easily catch it. It seems to have relaxed a little bit from the last bit of its thorn shooting out, but you do feel it. So every time someone gets knocked out, it's resetting itself. But you do feel it tighten up pretty hard as you catch it, and you're up. Toss it to whoever you'd like.
I'll toss it back to Musa.
All right, you toss it Musa's way. Musa, you are up.
10.
You catch it in your hands and feel it tighten up pretty hard. You're up.
Whew. Toss it to Six.
All right, tossing it Six's way. Six, give me that roll, please.
It's a 4.
You catch it in your hand, Six, and watch as thorns jut out from it into your hands. A Constitution saving throw, please.
Yeah, I'll use my advantage.
All right.
That's a 23.
Oh shit, rabbit!
Party rabbit.
It's licking.
Six,
Keeps on ticking.
your mind begins to wander, but it snaps back quickly as you remember that VYSE is still across from you as you lock eyes with him, and you catch the shrub in one hand before it touches the dirt below you.
Motherfucker.
You feel the shrub begin to decompress a little bit and go back to its original state. "Excellent work, Six," Candee says. time for a new round. You go ahead and toss it, she says.
She'll toss it to Flash.
All right. Tossing it back to Flash. Give me that roll, buddy.
Ooh.
Catch it in your hands, Flash. And you feel it tighten up a little bit. You're up.
Back me, Flash.
I follow Six's lead and back to 6.
Okay, you toss it back Six's way. Go ahead, Six.
It's an 8.
You catch it in your hands and feel it tighten up a tiny bit.
Yeah, man. If Red Team was playing golf, we'd be killing it.
You can pass it to whoever you would like, even if they're on your team. Anybody.
I'm gonna toss it back to Flash.
All right, tossing it back to Flash. All right, Flash. Don't forget, you can add any of your +1s or inspiration.
I'll add a +1 just to be safe.
Probably not a bad idea. All right, catch it in your hands. You feel it tighten up a little bit. Your go.
I look to 6 and act like I'm going to throw it to her and toss it to Tali.
Oh, tossing it Tally's way. Tali, go ahead and give me that D20 roll. You can add a +1 or... Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Tali, you catch it in your hands and you can feel the thorns jut out, stabbing you through your gloves. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
You got 2 cards if you want.
It's true. That doesn't work. That doesn't work either. But I do have a +1, I think.
You can also use them to just get advantage on the con save,
Yeah, the
too.
cards give
They
you the
always have a
advantage.
default of the advantage.
The D20 roll?
Mm-hmm. It's a Constitution
Oh, yeah,
saving
that's
throw.
it.
Yeah. They work like
Gotcha.
normal inspiration, but they also have like extra stuff too. But they'll always have that. For
Yeah,
you.
I was reading the second one where it said like strength or dex. I was like, wait, but got it. I will use this one.
All right. Very nice. Okay, so give me a con save with advantage then.
Oh,
Oh,
you hate to see it.
that's rough.
Eesh.
Tali, you catch the ball in your hands or the shrub, and then space out for just a second to see it lying at your feet on the ground below you. Candee looks and says, "Sorry, honey. That puts us down to 4. If you'll step over with the others."
The odds have changed fast. Thought we had this.
Looks like it's down to 4, Candee says. And she hands the
Hey,
ball.
Tali, welcome to the Winners Club.
What's up?
She hands the ball to you, Vice. Go ahead. Toss it to whoever you'd like.
All right. Flash.
Gotcha, boss.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You catch it firm. It tightens up just a little. You're up.
Back to VYSE.
All right. Tossing it back to Vice.
4.
Vice. You catch it. Thorns jut out. I need a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh.
Oh.
That is a 1.
No. All of you watch as like Vice catches the ball, the thorns jet out, and then he just like collapses on the ground and drops the ball as it kind of rolls a foot or two away from him. Vice, you kind of come to just as quickly as you caught the ball, like literally 2 or 3 seconds later, but find yourself laying on the ground with a ball at your feet. Candee comes over and crouches down and says, "Sorry, honey. That's gonna mean we're down to 3 if you'll join the others."
What? Where do you get these plants?
Oh, it's a nice little nature hike out. Maybe I'll show you sometime.
Might
This is
want
just
some.
like Two jocks getting ready to beat down the last nerd in dodgeball or something.
Candee comes over and hands the shrub to you, Six, and says, toss it wherever you'd like.
I'll toss the flash.
All right. Tossing it over to Flash. All right. Flash, you catch it in your hands. It tightens up a little bit. You're up.
Over to Musa.
All right. Musa, it's coming your way. Can add anything you'd like before you make that roll. Just let me know. Musa, you catch the ball in your hands and feel it tighten up hard. You're up.
Oh.
Musa smiles real fast, mischievously, and goes, think fast, and throws it to Candee.
You throw it to Candee.
Ooh. Daring.
You watch as Candee is watching and sees as you throw, and she like swerves to the side as the ball hits, or the shrub hits the hut behind her, and says, oh, no, dear, I understand, I'd love to join you, but this is only between the three of you. And she kind of reaches down gently and grabs the ball and hands it back to you and says, it's got to be to the other two.
All right.
Come back in 10 years, kid.
Good play.
Toss it to Six.
All right, you toss it Six's way.
Let's see that roll, Six.
I'll add a +1, so 14.
All right, you catch the ball in your hands. Tightens up pretty hard. You're up.
I'll toss it back to Musa.
All right, Musa.
I'm using a +1.
Okay.
This is insane. This is insane.
Musa,
That's
you
probability.
catch it in your hands, and as you do, thorns jut out from it instantaneously. Please give me a Constitution saving throw.
Advantage.
Oh, nice.
You know what? And I'm also going to use a +1.
Okay,
Hell
going
yeah.
full force. I like it.
The last one on my team. Let's see. Ooh,
Hey,
okay, 22.
nice.
Take it.
With a 22, Musa, your mind spaces out for a second. As you come back to, you look down and see the ball is still in your hands. It is your go.
I just sort of chest pump right at 6. Like,
Yeah, it's the old hobgoblin grip.
we are the top.
That's a 10.
All right, you catch it in your hand, 6. It tightens up pretty hard. You're up.
If you ain't hobgoblin, you ain't right.
Don't say that. Don't say that, please.
Why?
Just I'll explain it later. Just don't.
I'm gonna toss it back to Musa.
All right, tossing it back to Musa.
+1.
Just chewing through those +1s.
I had 8. Dang it.
Oh.
Wow. 6. Oh.
You catch it
I
in
wonder
your
what happened.
you catch it in your hands. It tightens up a little bit.
Ooh, lucky.
And I will like pretend to toss it the 6, but then last second toss it the Flash.
All right, Flash, it comes your way.
Why is everyone doing that? It doesn't have any advantage whatsoever.
It's for
It's
flavor.
flavor. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the flavor, Luke.
9 total.
You catch it in your hands, Flash. Thorns jet out and into Constitution saving throw.
Your advantage.
Advantage. Use the advantage.
I'll use it.
All right, last advantage going in there. Give me that con save.
Swift runes.
Flash, The thorns jut out. You space out for just a second. As you come to, you see that the shrub is lying at your feet on the ground.
Dun dun dun.
Candee looks over and says, well, I'm sorry, Flash, but that means it's down to 2 as she looks over at MUSA and Six.
Going down, bunny.
I make a gesture to Domo and then over to Candee behind her back. Like, should we kill her now? Yeah, while she's not looking.
Domo points to the empty quivers on her back and just shrugs.
She steps over to you, MUSA, and hands the shrub ball to you. There you go, honey. You're up first.
You ready, little bunny?
It's just me and you, little girl.
MUSA tosses it.
All right. Look at that naked D20 roll. 6, you catch it. It tightens up hard in your hands. We can assume you toss it back.
Back to MUSA.
All right.
Straight. Oh, come on.
You catch it in your hands. Thorns jut out. I need a con save.
It's like the 5th one this session.
Using a +1.
This game is fucking busted. Roll 20 saw that we were using these type of
Two
rolls.
inspiration cards, though.
And I'm using my Tides of Chaos to give me the advantage on my saving throw.
Oh, nice.
Now, is that magic?
Yeah, you said no magic.
Let me see here. Hang on. Can manipulate the forces of change, chaos to gain advantage, blah, blah. Once you do, you must finish along.
It's also an action, not a reaction.
Oh, yes. This is an action, yeah. So this would be like a reaction catching it in your hands, MUSA.
Okay, so I can't use it for this?
That's correct.
Okay.
I mean, you could maybe use it like before you toss it or before you catch it next time, but not as you're catching it.
In that case, I will use this.
All right.
Top turn order was 6. Toss the ball to yourself.
Can I do that?
No, I was joking.
No,
It was one of the effects of the card.
No.
Okay. Keep going.
Funny. Thank goodness.
You catch it. You see the thorns jut out, holding it tight in your grip, MUSA. You feel yourself space out for a second. And as you look down, you see the shrub laying at your feet on the ground. Candee looks and says, "It was a great try, MUSA, but it looks like Team Warcry wins this one."
Warcry!
I walk over to MUSA and give her a pat on the horns and say,
It takes a while to get used to all this raw power, but you'll get used to it.
You did it for the hobgoblin superiority.
Stop! Listen! It's all about blending in. You can't go around ruffling people's feathers like that. Not yet, at least.
One day we will rise up.
Don't console the losers.
But Six, aren't we all winners in the end?
Yeah, you told me
No.
we're only winners if we're hobgoblins.
It's true, we're the top.
6.
You got a lot to learn, Musa.
6, Domo, and Flash, as Candee is congratulating you, the three of you, you each notice appearing on your Hexi suits is an embroidered badge, a new one, showing a open palm with what looks like trickles of blood dripping from a red opening in the center.
See, that one makes sense.
She looks to each of you and says, "Congratulations, you did so well. I'm so proud of each of you." And as she finishes saying this, the ground below all of you begins to quake and shift and shake. Everyone, please give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, okay.
So, can I use my Tides of Chaos on this?
Let me see.
Because it's not like, I guess it's
Yeah, sure.
Could I use my resistance on this?
What's that do?
You touch one willing creature. They roll a d4, and it adds the number to the saving throw.
Sure, you can touch yourself.
Okay.
You know what I mean.
Jesus.
Remember to blow on it and think of a friend.
No.
30.
Tell us how we eat shit.
Yeah.
seriously.
Everyone below a 10. As the ground quakes, the trees nearby shifting and shaking, leaves and foliage falling from the tops of them. You hear the sound of trees in the distance shivering. Those of you below a 10 all fall onto your asses as the ground tremors and shakes.
It's just Domo. It's just Domo.
It's that low center of gravity.
It's right.
You see Candee sort of like holding the nearby shack to stabilize herself too. She looks around for a second.
What's that, Candee? Sorry.
No, that's okay. She hears you, Musa, and then takes a finger and like touches it to her tongue and holds it in the air.
I didn't think people actually did that.
She says, "Well, shoot. I was hoping to give y'all a little resting time between this and the final trial, but I suppose we're going to have to move things up just a little bit. It's time to do the final trial."
Wait, what do you mean? What is going on?
"No time to waste," she says with a wagging finger. "Let's get on heading on the trail. I'll explain on the way."
No, what?
You said our weapons. You promised our weapons.
Your weapons are waiting at the final trial site, which you'll get before you compete in the trial.
Oh, I don't like that either.
I don't like that.
It's an earthquake mean it's time for a final trial.
Yes.
Explain the earthquake.
Well, you've heard tales of the Earth being alive and all. Well, let's just say this island in some way is alive.
I knew it. We're on the back of a giant sea turtle that wants our blood for sustenance.
Are we on a giant's ass again? I did that once. I don't really want to do that again.
Why?
She looks confused and says, "I don't believe you're on the back of a giant's butt, but who knows?" "Well, if you're ready, come on and follow me," she says. You see her like fishing into her backpack as she begins to walk, trying to make you all follow along with her.
Yeah.
All right, you guys begin to follow along.
Mm-hmm.
She begins to lead you down a new path this time, taking you out of the island. Or out of the campgrounds, and begins to lead you through a trail. You begin to follow her, winding through the trail. This path goes along, not too long, probably 10 or so minutes. And winding through the jungles, you find yourselves pushing through, exiting out of the forest tree line, and up ahead you're able to see the shoreline nearby as you begin to walk along the beach with Candee. And move maps here. Candee leads you to a shoreline that is surrounded by several rocky outcroppings that are both on the land as well as in the nearby waters here. You can see as she lines you up that you're each next to two large concentric pots that sit on the beach near stone. One is colored red, the other green. Blue waves lap onto the wet sand nearby. In the deeper waters several yards out, the blue hues shift to a near glowing red. You can see up ahead in the sky, the once clear twilight is now growing darker as several black clouds have begun to take form. The distant echo of thunder can be heard above. You watch as Candee has fished out now a spyglass from her backpack and extends it and just peers out into the distant dark horizon, and then pulls it down and says, "Well, all right. It's time for the final trial. Environment," she says with a clap. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
I just want to, I want to real quick before we go out, I want to pull Flash aside just barely out of earshot of Six.
Remember, Ty, we have to make it look convincing because Six is not going to.
And when Candee pulls out her spyglass, Lodger's new thing is to always say, "Ooh, I want to see what's she looking at way out there." Oh, fuck off!
Oh, come on!
This game. This fucking game.
Man.
I rolled a 2 with advantage.
You see nothing but the darkness of the stormy horizon as the waters just go out into the distance.
Absolute nonsense.
Candee will turn to you and say, "I think you'll see soon enough."
Let me see your spyglass. I want to borrow it. I can't see anything with these eyes.
Unfortunately, it's only for Candee's eyes, she says as she begins to put it back in.
Oh, stop being so selfish. Didn't you have a badge for that? Which one was that?
Before we end the session, Candee will reach into the pots and pulling out from within them Domo, Flash, Six, Tali, or any of your weapons you may have lost that she gives back to you.
Sick.
Bless you.
Okay.
While Ladra was distracting Candee, I would look at Tali and VYSE and like, remember, try to draw, tie it up, keep it tied.
Well, we're losing, so we have to.
We have to
Yeah.
win.
Yeah. You guys do fine. Me and Flash will take care of our business.
So with that is where we will end tonight's session. A little early, but I don't want to jump into the mechanics of the final trial, just to retell them next time. So we'll get into
forget all about it.
Yeah, we'll get into the specifics next time. I came back to a whole new map. Yes, this is the final trial site here, the beach shoreline. So thank you all for coming in and hanging out with me tonight. Thank you, Paige, Discordia, Wonderbread, Mama Bear, Tiberius, anybody else I may have missed. There's quite a few people, so thank you so much. Living Lost, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. That was very nice of you. Hey, you get a boost to your Twitch channel points that you can use to interact with our D&D stream that happens tonight. Mousy, what's up? Hello, Mousy. Thank you for coming by, too. I really appreciate that. Yes, we play D&D every Friday night at 9 p.m. Well, most every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So come by, stop in for the fun. Don't want to miss the rest. Thank you so much, Living Lost. That's very nice of you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, you get a boost to your Twitch channel points. Yeah, I really appreciate you hanging out with us. If you missed any of these episodes, for example, want to get caught on all the others, I have the VODs down below, or you can head over to my YouTube and get caught up on all of them. Make sure and go check out my Twitter for the latest up-to-date news on everything going on and all the goodies happening over there. I do the giveaway announcements, my schedule stuff. It's all over there. I have a Patreon. If you're a part of the Patreon, you'll get all kinds of cool digital and physical swag, depending on the tier that you're in. And those of you who are at the Succulent Sorcerer tier and above are going to get early access to the YouTube versions of any of our D&D shows that happen tonight. You usually get them like mid-tomorrow, so as soon as they're done on a Friday, you get them the very next day to watch. Whereas the rest of the public will get the public release on Tuesday, just as a little incentive for those of you who are willing to support the channel. I really appreciate that a lot. Got an Instagram, and if you want to grab you some cool merch like the shirt Nick is wearing that has "Don't Do You Even Lift Bro" with VYSE on it, go over to the godmode.shop. Thank you, Nick, for repping the stream. I really appreciate it. That's really awesome. And then if you want just like a full list of all the links to all the goodies and stuff for the channel, I'll slap the link.bio in there as well. It's got all the links as well as the latest episode up on there, and easy access for everybody. So thank you all so much. Paige, I believe Paige was the winner, right? That won the giveaway. That's how bad my memory is. Paige, I'm gonna get with you after the stream is over. I'm just gonna send you a DM so I can get some deets on which version of your gift card you would like to grab, and I'll get that sent over to you as ASAP. So thank you so much for hanging out and winning that. And yes, that is it for tonight. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to, if you'll stick around, I'm going to find someone who is on our sort of little connected network of TTRPG stuff that I've been following to send you over if you want to watch some more D&D. So we'll go raid somebody else. But in the meantime, thank you all for coming by and stopping in. It really means a lot. We're trying to build up to 420 followers as a landmark. So thank you so much, Living Lost, for doing that, as well as Mad Mats for a couple hours ago following. If you end up watching this, thank you so much for that. And yeah, I really appreciate it. I hope you had fun. I hope the players had fun. Did you guys have fun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent.
Good
That's
times.
great. One of these days they're gonna all say no, and then we'll just quit. Well, I'll just delete my Twitch.
No.
Yeah, make sure and stay safe out there. Make sure and hydrate. Stretch your legs every once in a while. Everyone's getting it, but try not to get COVID if you can. And just take care of yourselves, because I want you to be healthy, happy, and safe. So I can see you all next time. No Scream stream tomorrow, but that will return next week. In the meantime, I'll be doing another Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday stream next week. So keep your eyes peeled for the schedule when I post that starting Monday. So have a safe weekend, everyone. I will catch you all later. Goodbye, everybody.
Kids are becoming acclimated to this very kind of thing, and I began to look through the instruction manual, and I see here how to cast magical spells and mage spells and cleric spells, and you go to the pages that it's listed on, in this instance page 41, and they have complete descriptions of how to cast spells and how to contact powerful spirits and how to use these spirits and these powers to overcome obviously evil or good, because there's both white and black magic in these books. We picked up another one to see if that was just coincidence, and it's dungeon magic here. And we look through again, and we see in here casting magic spells, page 22, with a complete description. And it says here, each wizard has mastered a certain type of magic. When you meet a wizard, he will give you 4 basic elements of his mystical studies. So we have a wizard now teaching the children of his magical studies. And then here it says, it is important to remember that the source of all magic is the life force of the user. This is the teaching of the occult.